Alright guys, so we're in Powell, Ohio, and the Columbus Zoo is up there if you would have gone straight. When I was growing up, I knew Jack Hanna because my grandpa was friends with him. He used to bring wild animals over to my grandpa's house and let them loose in the house without knowing they were there. This gas station right here, I used to, when we would get in cop chases, I actually came up here to get gas one time, and I was trying to get the car back down this road, and we couldn't get back to where we were trying to go. The police kept picking us up. We had school the next day, so we ended up getting in this really nasty cop chase right after we got gas there. We'd go back up this way, and see, all these roads have these like a little bit of zigzag to them, so it's just enough to make it interesting, where if you are a great driver in a C5 Corvette in the year 2000, 1999, you're the fastest fucking thing under the sun. Greg Nelson had a Lamborghini Murcielago one day, and we raced down Muirfield Drive, and I actually beat him in my dad's Vette by a hair. I mean, it was really close. We were neck and neck the whole way, and there's this one spot where it zigs over, like an intersection. You go over this bump as you're going around a turn, and I was familiar with it. He let off, and when we got to the red light, he pulled up and saw how young I was. He's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me, you're just a kid." He's like, "You're gonna kill somebody." I was like, "Don't be better just because you got beat by a kid." He's like, "Where'd you learn how to drive?" I was like, "I just practice a lot." He's like, "Do you race?" I was like, "Yeah, kinda." But anyway, you can see how this road zigzags around, and there's a little bit of undulation to it up and down. Nothing crazy though. The other roads are better than this one, but you can see how few traffic is out. And see, I got eyes like a hawk. I can see really well at night. Like, I can kill my lights and see just fine. So if I'm in a black Vette with my lights out right now, I can see everything. And that's what we used to do. We used to be in different color Corvettes, different nights, and wouldn't even wear a license plate, because what's the point? You know you're gonna run. So we used to take it really seriously. The police were well aware that there were these different color Corvettes that were outrunning them religiously, and they couldn't figure it out. So the night that we get in this big cop chase, I had to go all the way to Springfield, Ohio, to get away from the helicopter. Right up here, I'm trying to come back up this way, and we end up getting picked up here, so by another cop. And so, because I was just trying to get done with the chase and get back home. Luckily, I got gas, so we were full, and we were in a bright yellow Corvette that night. And it's a Corvette that my dad owned, had a Borla exhaust. And there's another kid that went to school with me, and his dad also bought a Millennium Yellow Corvette, and his had a black top, my dad's had a tan top. And they're both convertibles. And the cars had just come out. It was the year 1999, and in the year 2000 was the yellow, Millennium Yellow. So they started making it in 99. And by the way, at one point I lived over here. There used to be a store where the GameStop is. There used to be a store called Bear Hugs, and they had little knickknacks and shit in there. But anyway, I used to live in these apartments over here. When my mom and I won the lottery, basically, with stock, that's where we were living. We had a $2,000 stock investment in my mom's sister's husband's. I gotta get some food in me. I'm gonna go here to this Sheetz gas station. Oh, it's not open. God damn it. Fuck. Okay, never mind. I've been doing the storage unit all night. So anyway, we invested in the check yourself out at the grocery store idea, and at a dime a share, it turned into $40 and split along the way once. So we had about almost $500,000. Then my stepdad comes back in the picture, and he'd already had one kid with my mom, my older brother, and my little brother was just a baby, and so he came back in the picture, and great grandma Millie, she wanted us to be with him. So she was giving me a bunch of stock in the company, which was the kiss of death, because that made everybody else lose their minds that a non-blood was getting stock in the big company. And so instead of Jermaine, that used to be Dick Rule Ford. Up here's the police station. So I ended up not they ended up running me out of the company, which is what it is. But that used to be a police station right there. It looks like they've gotten rid of it. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, the police kept daring us to get the same kind of car as they had and try to outrun them. Once they finally figured out it was me, because, okay, so I was telling the yellow Corvette story. So we ran all the way to Springfield, Ohio, out 42. A deer actually jumped the car while I was going 170 miles per hour. Swear to God. Helicopter had us lit up. It was crazy. So we get out to I-70. We're heading west into the wind. And because helicopters, their speed's relative to the wind. So we're heading west. And what do you call it? We end up running out of gas, so we coast up an exit ramp and coast up to the top of the exit ramp and pull into behind like a gas station or whatever, like a building. We didn't make it right to the gas station, but there's the Chevrolet store, and there's a Subaru store, and then there's a Mazda store. But anyway, we end up behind this building. I parked on the west side of the building, and we get out, it's just crickets. You couldn't hear, no helicopter, nothing. So the helicopter, he also was running out of gas. But the difference is when you're in a helicopter, you still have to go home to land. And I end up learning all this later, because when I messed up my leg and I was in physical therapy, the helicopter pilot who chased us was in physical therapy, the sports medicine physical therapy, same time I was. He was getting his shoulder worked on. I had my messed up leg. My aunt, who lived in Indiana, she ends up moving right behind these water towers. And when I was 8 years old, I remember hanging out over there. So these roads right here is where I used to do my speed records. I've had the Lingenfelter Corvette up to 220 something miles per hour right through here, racing a turbo Busa on 2 separate occasions. And I've been up to 170, 180 through here more times than you'd ever imagine. Way more times. So one night we took a Viper, and we were from the dealership. We used to borrow the cars and put them back before morning. We never stole them. We just borrow them. So one night we took the Viper, and it was a used Viper. And when I went across this bridge, the car wasn't right. The car was squirrely all over the road. They'd bought it used at an auction, but it was when Vipers had first come out, and it was a blue GTS with either white or silver stripes. And so it was the coupe. And I'd already driven the convertible before. And when I went across these undulations right here, at about 120, 130, I almost lost it. The whole car starts going crazy. Well, they thought that I'd wrecked it at the dealership, because they got wind that I took it out. They thought that I'd wrecked it. I said, no, I didn't wreck it. It was a crazy car. I put it right back because it handles so bad. So Vipers were not stable vehicles at all. But that one had something wrong with it. There's a reason why they took it to the auction. Whoever owned it first had wrecked it, and then they took it to the auction. So Anyway, just telling you some stories. So the yellow Corvette, we didn't get back in time. We were tardy to school when we got in the helicopter cop chase. We didn't get back, and the car got reported stolen because we didn't get back in time. And it's a long story, but that's how the police finally figured out that I was the one who outruns them. Because up until then, they had no idea. And my dad refused to believe it was me. He could not comprehend that I could outrun the cops. Because the cops had actually talked to my dad about it. They're like, there's some dude who outruns us religiously, like for sport. The guy shuts off his lights, drives around, he can see like a hawk apparently. And not only does he do that, but he gets behind us and chases us with his lights out, and we look in our rearview mirror and we realize it looks like there's Batman behind us. And then as soon as we hit our brakes, he'll lock up the brakes and do a 180 in the middle of the road and go the wrong way. Like the dude is on another level, like psycho. Like he's just, the whole thing's a big game to him. And it's because my parents and my grandparents, they wouldn't let me go to race car school. And because they knew I wanted to be a race car driver. And they were really just dicks about it. And then it's the senior year of high school, they're like, we'll send you to Ron Fellows. And I'm like, I don't care about going to Ron Fellows. You know, that's not race car school, guys. It's too late. You know, you start young. And they just would never, you know. If I had it to do over again, I would have had a little shifter cart or something at a young age. I would have used my money. Because I used to make good money. But, it's all right. The inventions that I've come out with and everything, it works out better what I've done instead. But now we are on the way back to Florida for the second load of stuff. See, we've got an empty cargo van now, and there's some trash I'm gonna throw away. Anyway, from Dublin, Kaufman High School to Easton, I'm trying to remember what time I did it in. I want to say it was 8 minutes when I was in high school during the day. At night, we could just go stupid fast, but during the day, we used to cause all kinds of mayhem. At night, I should say. But, see, it's still early yet. It's only like 11 o'clock at night, so there's a lot of cars on the road. And there's more people nowadays out on the road than there used to be. So it used to be genuinely pretty safe to, everything's just like a big racetrack. And I knew exactly how fast I could go around certain turns, and I got pretty good at eyeing things anyhow. And the only thing we were ever scared of was a helicopter. We got in 3 separate different helicopter chases. One time we ran to Worthington Hills and hid behind a house. And I was sitting there, I turned on the guy's hose and was spraying the car with water so it'd be cloaked from the heat vision. And then trying to think what else. That right there is one of the Chesround boys. I think that was a dealer tag. So anyway, that's all I got. See ya.